Good afternoon, or wherever you are in the world, maybe good evening. My name is Gary Beckman. I'm the producer of Edge Life Expos and events located basically in the upper Midwest. We have an event coming up November 19th and 20th, 2011, at the Hyatt Regency downtown Minneapolis. Three of our presenters I am going to interview. One is Wesley Hamilton, the other is Troy Parkinson. We call it the triple treat and or the triple threat, wherever you want to go with it. We got to throw humor in this. Spirituality and living does not have to be all serious. It helps if people have solutions to problems that they are running into today, tomorrow, the next day. Also, some of the solutions are what happened in the past to resolve those. So it is really great pleasure that I do introduce personally and ask a few questions is to my left is Wes Hamilton. Hi Wes.
Gary?
To my right is Troy Parkinson. Hi Troy.
Gary, hello.
What we're going to do, Wes Hamilton is a master numerologist. He's a teacher of spiritual practices and how to utilize them in daily life, personal, business, or pleasure. Now, Mr. Parkinson, Troy Parkinson, is a little bit younger than Wes and I. That does not say he doesn't have the wisdom, because he has mentioned that he probably does. What do you think of that, Wes?
He's working on it.
He's looking at it. And Troy has a really fascinating, it's not a dichotomy, because any beliefs integrate into your personal life. He is a medium. That means talking with people that have passed over. He's also extremely professional filmmaker. He's responsible for what you're seeing here today, and he's really, really a good family man. He has a great deal of love for his wife and his two children. Now, we have what I'm going to call the three or the triple. I'm going to ask everyone questions about what they're going to bring to this. I'll ask myself the question. I'm the third one. Wesley?
Yes, sir.
What is your part in this presentation at the expo on November 19th or 20th?
Well, my part is to validate what Troy gets from Spirit. And I use a very old practice of science and math called numerology.
Who started that?
Pythagoras is known as the father of math, and he really didn't start it, but he took the practices that were at that time 8 to 10,000 years old and put them into our language and our numbering system.
My understanding, Wes, is that in many religions, numbers are extremely important, and they utilize them in their prayers and in when they want to take a look into the future. So numbers, numerology is not a game. It is something that can truly help someone in their life. I think we have to explain that.
Well, numerology is something that science has finally come out and proven that this world is made up of numbers and shapes, sacred geometry and numbers. It's what holds the universe together. And if we know what the numbers are, it's like a sound in music or a light vibration. If we know what a certain number is, we know what direction it'll go and what its behaviors will be. So that's how we use numerology.
Yeah, that's just come out in the last couple of years, if I remember correctly.
The science part?
Yeah, the science
Yes.
part's taking a look
Yeah.
at. That's curious. That's why we have these events, because things that have been around for centuries and centuries, the mainstream, there's no mainstream, we're all one, is coming to light, and it's important. These small things, one would say small, but they're important in helping you make decisions. Wesley, we'll come back to you in a little bit. Mr. Parkinson.
Yes,
Troy Parkinson. Fargo, North Dakota is your hometown?
that's correct.
Fargo, North Dakota. Two children?
That's right.
And a wife.
8-year-old and a 2-year-old and a wife.
And you call yourself the married medium.
That's
Is that
correct.
correct?
That's correct.
It's his wife, Shonda. Roy, tell us what you're going to bring to this event.
Well, one of the things that's great about intuition and helping people on their soul's path is that there's an opportunity to shed a little insight to what they already know. So in working with Wes, what happens is that we pull numbers, and people are able to actually share their birth information with Wes so that he can run the chart. And as he's running the chart, then what we do is that I tune into spirit and I bring forward inspiration or guidance for them regarding a question. And what tends to happen is that what I share on a level of spirit, Wes is able to validate from the numerology side.
There, Troy really wrapped it into it, is that I'll call it, you could call it two different views, third view from me, angle, whatever way I want to look at it. Now, when you come to this presentation, it's very likely that you will get a reading or information from numerology and also information from the medium. This is our second presentation. The first one was at the event in Fargo. Extremely successful. The reason it was successful were the answers that the attendees did receive. Not him, not him, and not him. My part of this is to pull it together, to bring it to a point that you understand clearly about things that used to be called paranormal but no longer are, such as numerology, mediums. We see them, and we have one other event coming up which ties into all this, is the new dawn of the child, or children. Wesley, what's in your years of being involved in, used to be called paranormal, now it's not, what's the greatest thing that you ever pulled from it?
The greatest thing, I would say that we're not here alone. There's many levels of living, and we see this everyday living. But as I've gone down my path of searching and discovery, I found that we've got the physical form, the spiritual form, the etheric form, the consciousness form, and all of those are working together to create this reality.
Good. Thank you. There, that's an important thing. It's about you, the individual. Development of a higher, I don't like to use hierarchies, but someone that has reached happiness with themselves makes a better world. Troy, also, the same question to you. You've been around this shorter period of time, Hamilton and Beckman. What do you get out of this from a younger set of eyes? There's about 30 years difference between different. So this is important for the younger, for everyone. What do you see, man?
Well, I think that we're all at a time where we're looking for new insight. We're looking for a new way to explore this world. I mean, you know, the way that the world is today is not how it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Whether it be economics, whether it be relationships, whether it's the war on terror. And I believe that as a society, we're hungry for a new awareness. And what I see these expos provide, and thank you for our plane that's flying over. See, it's the government now. They're checking us out.
That's a conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy. There's no question about it. There's the camera. The parachutes are coming down. There we go. It's a Delta group.
So one of the things that's important about this work, and what I've discovered being a medium over the last 12 years, is that regardless of the age, regardless of your experience, people are hungry to expand beyond what they've been raised. And it's not about being a rebel or breaking out of a family of origin. It's about including and welcoming in. So as a medium, what I've discovered over the last number of years is that people are hungry for this conversation. People are ready for this conversation, and they're ready to actually implement the experience and the knowledge that they receive, because they got to continue to live this life. They got to continue to walk every day. And the earlier in life that you can get that awareness, you know, the more enhanced and powerful the experience can be. But, you know, as you guys have experienced in your own journey, and as I've experienced with other clients, it's never too late. The awareness comes when it's intended to, and when you receive it, it's time to embrace it.
That Troy, as Wesley did, hit on many, many things we're going to discuss. Now, leading directly into this is that corporate America is very unhealthy. We read about it in the magazines. We read about the political situations are extremely unhealthy. So what we will pull together to the absolute best of our ability how to deal with this broken wheel, how to utilize what's new. Always in the past, we go through recessions, they call it cycles. Once you come out of the cycle, things do seem to go back to normal. Put that in quotes, normal. This time, they will not come back as they were before. It will not happen. So that's why what we will discuss in our presentation, but we will also present other things at every booth and every exhibitor that is there. The important part is that taking a look at what the new, put it in quotes, world will be like. This is the exciting part. This is why I'm into it. What have I seen in the past? What do I see here? What's more important than anything else is the developing of the individual person to be more acceptable to their fellow man and to treat their fellow man like they want themselves treated. Remember that. Remember that. Every time you say something, it will come back. Now, with that little pontificating, is there anything that you would like to wrap it up with? I'm going to go back to Troy. Anything that you'd like to wrap it up with, Troy, from your side?
I think that anyone that's watching this experience that's curious to know more about the Edge Life Expo, the holistic events, it's important to come out and just experience it. You know, it's like putting your toe in the water. You just start off slowly. And what you'll discover is that it's not as paranormal as it may be presented on television. That there really are good, honest people that are committed to making a difference in the lives of people. And through the work that we do, our goal is to help remind people of who they truly are. And if they can remember who they truly are, then it opens up a whole new world of possibility for them.
Thank you, Troy. Wes, the reason I switched over is that I wanted to, our elderly statesman here, if you will.
How old are we anyway?
There you go. In your thoughts, if you will, wrapping this up, what would you like to share?
The thing that I've noticed that every year that I've been at an expo, and I think we were with you when you started them,
Yes,
more and more people are coming, and they're not so afraid to approach and say, hey, what do you do? And I've noticed for years that it was mostly the women that were the risk takers who would come and ask the questions and follow their intuition. What I've been very excited to find lately is that more and more men are showing up. More guys are taking a risk and saying, you know, there must be something to this. And they're sitting down and they get a reading from me. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. I had no idea. And like you said, the woo-woo's going out of it. People are starting to use this in everyday life. And from the expos in our booth, we've developed contacts with people that run companies and corporations. And we now go into companies because of being at the expo. They find us, they find out what we're doing. They can see there's some practical application. And there's a way to track it and measure it. And wow, this is an insight that gives them a leading edge. That's what I've discovered. People are embracing what we've known for many years.
I really thank you two fellas. We are looking forward to seeing you all there. What day are we on? Saturday or Sunday?
You're the producer.
We're on Sunday.
We are?
Are we here on Sunday? We're on the 20th. Go to our website.
For how long? An hour and a half?
90 minutes. Yeah, hour and a half. And I'll break it down numerology wise. 1.5 hours, 90 minutes, right?
9 and a 0.
We're good. Remember, it's November 19th and 20th. And additional information, go to www.edgelife.net, or you can call me personally at 763-427-7979. To wrap this together to the best of my ability is that there are solutions to what we're going into. The dis-ease in a lot of pillars that we've had in our society for thousands and thousands of years. The old is coming out in a new form so we can understand it. And Parkinson and Hamilton and Beckman can show you or share with you potential paths you can take to enhance your life, to make you happier, healthier, wealthier, and a nicer, better human being. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Mr. Hamilton, as
Right,
always. Mr. Parkinson, as
Thank
always.
you.
Good night from the porch.